Hello everyone, welcome back to Fight Tonight channel. Is Gervonta Davis better than Terence Crawford? Floyd Mayweather dragged in to argue a point. Maybe Shakur Stevenson is better. There is no doubt that Gervonta Davis is a genius in the ring and that his style merits close reading. However, are we in a position to declare that the boxer from Baltimore has surpassed Terence Crawford as far as performance in the ring is concerned? Well, whether or not you correspond to artist commentator Showbiz linking Gervonta to Floyd Mayweather, he has greatly certified to certain characteristics of Davis he feels exceed, but what are those? As per Showbiz, Davis has the capacity for everything Terence Crawford has displayed in his fights. To elucidate his statement, he referred to Gervonta Davis knocking out Rolly Romero in 2022, near the end of the 6th round. Having somewhat landed a right hook, overconfident Romero decided to push Davis against the ropes, but with his right leg on the outside, Gervonta cuffed Romero in a square stance with his left hand while angling out. So, Showbiz said, Gervonta is a better aggressive fighter than Crawford. He has everything Crawford has. He can box a fighter coming after him. Then he alluded to Davis versus Leo Santa Cruz. This time Davis closed in on the distance. Having pushed Santa Cruz against the ropes, Davis let Teofimo throw his right hand while Tank adjusted himself for a left uppercut. Soon, in the blink of an eye, the uppercut landed and the Cruz was floored. On that note, Showbiz added, he can go after you and he can just box him. He knocks everybody out just like Crawford, but there is something better. Except for, I think Gervonta's chin is slightly better. When Terence Crawford goes out there, he gonna beat you athletic, but there is a certain poise that Gervonta has that I'm like super special, continued Showbiz. And he has that Floyd Mayweather poise, where he cannot do much but he is beating you mentally. Gervonta Davis approaches the fight better than anyone in the world, he confidently concluded. In this context, it is worth mentioning that in the past, Davis showed interest in fighting, but Gervonta Davis wanted to hand it down, but same fate suffered by Rolly and Santa Cruz. Last year, Gervonta Davis had casually mentioned that if he fought Terence Crawford at 147 pounds, he would hand but down the same fate he passed to Rolly and Santa Cruz. Put him to sleep in round 6. Later in his response, Crawford said there was no way Davis was moving up to 47 pounds. However, but did not entirely down the prospect of a potential fight. I would stay at 47 pounds for him, that's a big money fight, he told. But nobody's going to give me credit. Gervonta is like 5'5", he is a little guy, Crawford said. At this, while fans were extremely curious, Davis clarified that he was only joking and did not intend to actually face a bet. With that said, do you concur with this on Gervonta Davis being better than Crawford? Let us know in the comments below. Let's make this fight happen. Shakur Stevenson vs Gervonta Davis. If Shakur gets past challenger Artem Haratunan this Saturday, as expected, Shakur Stevenson and Gervonta Davis should be on a direct path towards a mega fight with each other. Given the proper build, Baltimore-bred Gervonta Davis against New York native Shakur Stevenson could be a huge event. These two young undefeated southpaws would not just be fighting for lightweight championships, they would arguably be vying to become the face of American boxing once Terence Crawford hangs up his gloves. Gervonta would be the best fighter Stevenson has faced, and the same is true for Stevenson, which claims that the other has not beaten anybody. The matchup between Stevenson and Davis is tantalizing. Stevenson is a defensive wizard who barely gets hit cleanly and is allergic to losing rounds. According to Campo Box, Shakur Stevenson has the top plus-minus rating of active boxers. Davis uses his low center of gravity to offer a teeny target for his opponents, while creating ageless openings for himself to land massive power shots. His 93% knockout rate speaks for itself. 30 fights, 30 wins, 28 knockouts. These are the numbers Gervonta Davis has accumulated as a professional. Does he sell tickets? Yes. Produce viral highlights? You bet. Tank Davis has moved down all challengers and is arguably the most exciting attraction in boxing. The knockout power Davis possesses is truly unbelievable for a man his size. If you squint it hard enough, Davis looks like a 5 foot 5 inch, 135 Mike Tyson. Unfortunately, that analogy extended to the controversy surrounding Davis outside of the ring. Following his recent victory over Frank Martin, the two potential opponents for Davis who would move the needle are Shakur Stevenson and Ryan Garcia's rematch. Davis has learned from his mentor, Floyd Mayweather Jr., that matchmaking is a big part of the fight game. The question for boxing fan is, would Gervonta Davis take a risk like taking on a young lion like the 26-year-old Shakur Stevenson? Davis-Stevenson would be a huge fight that could take place in Las Vegas based on the skill level and the importance of the contest. But with the two men born about 180 miles away from each other in Maryland and New Jersey, why not have this fight in a major East Coast city like Philadelphia or New York City? Atlantic City is pretty close, while Gervonta is the bigger draw right now, Stevenson fighting a relatively unknown opponent. In the internet and the streaming age, with boxing and MMA cards taking place across the globe from Abu Dhabi to Tokyo, to London and Las Vegas to a global audience, the location of a fight card is less relevant than ever. A big fight like Stevenson-Davis should be made with an eye toward the health of boxing presently and in the future. Die-hard fans of both men need to be able to come out in droves, and a big fight like Davis versus Stevenson deserves a big fight feel that can be linear from the broadcasting to sports, bars, and living rooms. Davis recently said that if he fought Shakur Stevenson, Stevenson would use a defensive, unentertaining strategy. Stevenson replied, "Gervonta Davis is a good fighter, but he is a usual fighter. He is gonna say what usual say." Setting aside how funny is it for one boxer to call another, maybe a big performance on a holiday weekend for Stevenson, shown on ESPN in the United States, will give him the juice to demand a fight with Gervonta. Stevenson will be able to make the fight if he truly wants it. Stevenson's promotional contract with Bob Arum and Top Rank will expire following his fight with Haratunen. If Stevenson wants to be a superstar in boxing, as he has said multiple times, he needs to use his contractual freedom. Stevenson could sign promotional deals on a fight-to-fight basis, which will help him avoid the entanglements that being with one promotional company comes with. In theory, Stevenson could fight Davis, advised by Al Heyman. That is easier said than done in boxing's current landscape, but Stevenson has the talent and ambition to break the mold. In the team sports world, free agency for players seemed crazy until it became a reality, as it did salary caps for teams. If Haratunen shocks Shakur Stevenson on Saturday, this article will not age well, but Shakur is as close to a sure thing as boxing has seen in recent years. He has the pedigree and the talent to become the future face of boxing in the United States. The other man with the best claim to that crown would be Gervonta Davis. Let's have them settle into the ring. Thanks for watching, guys. If you like this video, please subscribe to my YouTube channel.